Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And we start today's video, well, where we left off in the last video, and that is just hovering above early, where the majority of the last video, I say the majority, was it really the majority? A significant portion of the last video was spent reworking this station, which in the words of one commenter is looking like it might become as complicated as Crew Station, which I can certainly see. But I can also see Doncaster here. Perhaps what other station could I see that this could become as complicated as? Certainly not a terminus, no termini, because obviously this is a through station. There are probably a few stations. Peterborough, that is a fairly busy station. Newark is a relatively busy station as well. Anyway, all those stations aside across the country, I know one, Temple Meads, Bristol, Temple Meads, yes, that is a fairly busy station as well. Anyway, all those, as I said, all those aside, now I'm going to start thinking of Reading and anything down the Great Western. I managed to get this built, extended. It is not perfect, but I think it is better. I also mentioned at the end of the last video that there was some sort of issue that I was finding with the textures on the buses. I realised what I had done wrong, and that was I'd selected the wrong buses. So it says right-hand drive. Now in my brain, what that means is a right-hand drive, as in the seat is on the right-hand side where the steering wheel is. That is a right-hand drive, whereas you drive on the left. I believe that what it actually means in here, and the mod author, who actually I think did leave a comment saying that they'll check out what is going on with this particular mod and the update to it. What the mod author meant is right-hand drive as in you drive on the right, which is obviously not how we refer to it when we're driving on the road. So we drive right-hand drive cars because we drive on the left. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It does not matter. The problem has been resolved. Now, you will see that the buses look better, which is great. This also tells me why I'm having texture issues. Because, and this was again with when the mod author, one of the mod authors wrote the comment about this, about the Z-axis fighting, I thought to myself, I think the normals are being flipped. Now it is still somewhat, there is a little bit of trouble with the textures, but it is far less than you would expect. In fact, watching that bus going over the top, that just looks great. Just watching a bus going, a double-decker bus with, by the way, these buses never actually used to stop. You used to have to jump on and off. So this is like a Routemaster style. This is not a Routemaster. This is the precursor to a Routemaster bus. I forgot what these ones are called. But yes, just seeing that a bus going over the flyover as a train comes in to Early Station is quite nice. If only the rest of the town looked more realistic. Buildings are building up a little bit too high up and not close enough together, but I really do not have time to fix any of that. Anyway, this is what we were doing last time, alongside building in other towns, building some roads and whatnot. A lot of that has already been filled up, so Macclesfield is predominantly filled up, Early is filling up, Barnstaple is mostly filled up, Attleborough, which we did some time ago, is filling up quite nicely as well. So a lot of them are filling up, which means I'm going to have to do more. But in today's video, what I'm going to do is finally go over to Kingsbridge and sort Kingsbridge out. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started and let's finish something that I planned to do and started about 50 episodes ago. Right, here we are in Kingsbridge. Now this is not going to be a time-lapse video, but what I want to point out is that there are 3 lines currently going through this. Yes, they all stop at this station in Kingsbridge, and for now I guess I will leave the station as it is. But in the future, if I want an express service going from Attleborough to Taunton, that is not going to be something I'm going to be able to do. So it would. I'm just trying to figure out what an Attleborough Taunton one would look like. So it would be this way, across here, then through here, and then up and across, back across. Or could I get it to... yes, we could get it to go through here and then back through. Okay, so that is an express service that I'm looking to plan. So we'd have one. You start at Taunton, because Taunton I think could grow quite well. It is filling up as well. So we could start at Taunton and we'd go Taunton via, could potentially stop in Batley. That is another station that needs fixing. But we would peel off to here, stop in Shepton Mallet, so Taunton, Shepton Mallet, West Mersey, and Attleborough. Or just go Taunton, Shepton Mallet, Attleborough. That would be an express service. Now, in order to do that, I need to expand this station, or at the very least, provide room for this station to expand. And that is what I'm going to do. But also, what I'm going to sort of say here is that this was an area that was bombarded in the war, and therefore needs to be redeveloped. Maybe they were trying to hit this, they missed, and they hit here. So it has destroyed this entire area, which is why we're going to be able to rework it. And rework it we shall. We are going to start by, well, I'm going to actually start by breaking. There are stops here. Right, there are bus stops here. I'm going to start by breaking this bit. As nice as this lavender field is, it is past its time. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I will leave. I'm going to leave a little section. I'm going to call it Lavender Park. So it will not be that big, but I'm definitely going to build some streets around here. We'll do it. Let's do it this way. Actually, the way I need to do this is if I can do that. So what I want to do is I really want to expand Kingsbridge through this area. And of course, we are going to leave the Kingsbridge, which is, oh, hang on, the Kingsbridge is on this side. This here is the Kingsbridge. That's what I've determined the Kingsbridge is. Not that one, sorry. This one. This is the Kingsbridge. This small bridge here, which is a bit of an awkward bridge. Or should I call this one the Kingsbridge? I could call one of these are the Kingsbridge. That is the plan. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll do that and that. That can continue straight. Right. This is Lavender Park. Yep. This here is Lavender Park. And we will leave a little bit in the way of lavender here. What I should have done is done player ownership to yes immediately, so that the computer does not decide to build a whole bunch of stuff. There we are. Okay, so Lavender Park goes there. I will immediately put my boundary assets in the form of these little hazel bushes. So we'll have, in fact, could I put it in the way of, put some bushes or bollards? Now let's put the trees in. I can always change this. just making sure that nothing gets built here without my explicit authority. I've clearly made a hash of this because of where things are going to not build. No, this side's all right. Yeah, this side is fine. It's the other side. What I should have done, which I failed to do, is take a picture of this place before and then do the whole before and after, which I have not done, so I'll probably have to do that somehow. I'll figure it out. There we go. Okay, so that is now tree lined, or sort of hazel bush lined, and trains. Oh, there's a train coming in. Hoping that trains would be gone. All right. Well, I'll wait for that to do what it needs to do, and in the meantime, I am going to build out the new sections of Kingsbridge on this side and the new sections of Kingsbridge on this side. So I think this bit we'll figure out, but I'm going to build the new areas first and then work out how to connect them. So we'll start by, I think I'll fill out, let's fill out the majority of this area. We'll do that. So I think Kingsbridge could really grow to be a very large town, which is partly concerning, but I'm thinking of trying to maintain it between the two rivers. So I know it crosses a little bit there, but just maintain it here and here. That is what I want to try to do. Okay, let's build. We'll start with the small roads and I'll always pick them up as we go along and upgrade them as necessary. Follow the old byway, do that. And now here, build a few of these. At this point, one of the things that I am doing, which is somewhat annoying, is that I'm having to try and... Oh, that's terrible. I'm having to try and figure out how to make things look somewhat realistic, but without me planning the way you actually would plan a city, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do, as you may be able to tell. Square cities, grids, very easy, very easy to plan grids. The way the residential areas are built, in most places in the world, with the systems that they use, this is quite simple. But this is not so simple. And you have to think about how you are going to keep traffic off certain roads as well. And that's something that I've started to think about. That looks pretty good. Let's actually make this a full-size road. That's one. So I think this is going to need to be... And then I'll figure out what to do with all the rest of this. Okay, well, because that bit is being annoying, I'm just going to get rid of it. We'll sort out the whole bridge afterwards. In all honesty, I could probably sort out the bridge now. There we go. Now I could probably sort this bridge out now if I wanted to, but that's fine. It is fine. So that goes there, that goes there. Apparently houses have somehow managed to... I am not going to question that. Just wait for these to move out. We'll upgrade this road up to here, like so. I think this needs to become a main road as well, because that goes out somewhere. So is that a widening of this road? It is. Does that make this road... So this was something I was going to change entirely. So I need to figure that out. So I'm going to work out how we are going to do this, but let me start by placing these in. There, that goes there. That one can go there. Let those move out the way. Okay, I'm going to leave this up to... I'm going to leave this up to you to decide. What should I do for... How quickly can I lift this? What should I do for the... That is not going to lift fast enough, is it? Oh, it might just about be enough. What should I do for the current part of Kingsbridge? Should I actually demolish it? It could just about be enough. I'm just going to try this. Because that does need to start from a much further location. Because what I'm then going to do is build a main road along here to go out to this side. I think that could work. Okay, so that is another way. Because at the moment there was only this one way across, and that is naturally quite problematic. So if I were to... No way would this work, right? No, there is no way that's going to... There is no way that would climb to... Oh dear. Oh, it might. It might. So then I can just do a bridge straight across this. Okay, let me try that. Go away. There we go. No. That is just... That does not work. Okay, I know what will work. I know exactly what will work. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Do that. Try to get it to... Get to the point of a bridge, right. We'll get it to a bridge point. I will sort out the bridge in a bit. What we then need to do is we need to hold this like so. Why does that say? Why is that a problem? I'm not sure that is a problem. I'm genuinely not sure that is a problem. That seems okay to me. It isn't great. Now that is a problem. But if I were to use this one... Okay. Oh, where all the difficulties begin. That is a bigger opportunity for me to bring this in which case Lavender Park is going to have to move. Or, no, Lavender Park will not have to move. I bring it up, bring it over, and like that. So the cars go over and then there's still the park underneath. That doesn't seem very nice though. Construction not possible. Why? Construction not possible. Why? Construction not possible. Who and what makes construction here not possible? What is it about this road? Construction not possible. Delete the road. What is going on here? Okay, construction not possible. Okay, what happens if I do that and then that? There we go. And then I'll put this all back in. Because this road is, yep, this road needs to be a main road now. There we go. Construction is possible. Who said construction's not possible? Liars. So doing this, I can very easily clear what I want to clear. Yes, that makes it a lot easier to do that. I'll sort the bridge out in a minute. And then... there you are. You can go straight across. And be flat. Good. So I'll keep that quite short. Something along those lines. Well, that's actually... well, that is not terrible. And the bridge is not the best, but that is not terrible. So what I'm going to do is... no, actually, I am going to just finish that bridge off and then I'll just adjust it. Yeah, that could work. That's a lot easier than I thought it would be. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's try and adjust the bridge. Well, that is not a good one. That is not ideal. That is not ideal. How do we adjust this? Okay, I know. I know how we shall adjust this. We'll start with these nodes. And I'll figure out what the height of these nodes are, because I'm okay with... that height is absolutely... no, hold on. I think I prefer this one's height. So that is at 77.69. This is at... is that also 77.69? Why does it not... why does that not look flat then? That is what I'm confused about. Okay, start here. End there. Ramp equalize that, please. That's not ramp equalizer. Ramp equalize that, please. I might have to stick with it. Why does that look so wrong? Is there a node in the middle? No. Give me information about this. There is no way that is flat. I can tell you that is not flat. That is better. There we are. Okay, it's a nice... It looked like perhaps in the middle something was happening. But that is the first of what we are going to deem as ugly bridges. These bridges are not exactly the nicest. I think what it is that this... It has much more... So, for example, this bit here, I should be able to drop that a meter to give this more of a steeper curvature or something. I don't know. Even this, I've got to lift that just a bit. And then this is not center. This is not in the center, but that is probably as best as we are going to get. Yeah, I know that. I'm now going to try and change it between various different bridges. So that one is unfortunate. That one's just terrible. That one is unfortunate. That is not a bridge we can use. This is a bridge we can use. And do you know what? Given that we have these colours of bridges around, maybe that is a good thing to use this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something very stupid. And that is do that. And do that. And see, that is not... That still does not seem flat. Maybe it was flat the first time around and there was just some... I don't know. No. That is still... Right. Not that. That. There. I need that to... More than one segment must be selected. Okay. Time to cheat. I'm going to break this just here. I'm going to break this just here. Then we're going to select from here to here. Surely that will accept flattening that out. There we go. That is what I was after. A flat bridge. Perfect. This is a little bit further away than this, which is annoying me. So I'm going to take that out and... Well, okay, take that out and build it. That's... Okay, well... we are going to do another break just there, and I'm going to build... So break this slowly. Try and figure out... Okay, well, no, fine. Do that. I will break this here. And then do that, and then do that, and do that. How far does that look now? It's a bit too far. That's okay, because now I will break this just there. Will that do? Make it a bit closer. I'm being so very pedantic with this, and it's probably not even worth it. This is definitely not. In fact, no, I can guarantee you this is definitely not worth it. There we go. That bit is that. That is that done. Now I have to do the whole break there, grab to grab and flatten. There we are. Okay. That is a whole new section complete. Good. This is definitely a little steep, but I'll be honest, I've been up hills like this before. So I'm not entirely against that. And what I could do, just to help it along. Okay, you know what I'm going to do just to help it along? Collision with what? Oh, right. Yes. Oops. I'll just make this park a little smaller. Push that along. Push this road along a little. And we can work from there. That's probably a better option. Are these buses the wrong way as well? Yes, they are. Right, whilst I'm here, I'm going to fix. So everywhere I go, the buses that I've messed up, I'm going to just fix. So in fact, if this one is like this, then so will Sudbury's ones be? Yes. And Taunton's ones. So I'll go ahead and replace all of them with the correct one, which is that. And suddenly you'll see, there we go. A bit more metallic, but they no longer have issues. Kingsbridge Halt. Cool. Okay, I'll have to figure something out with that. For now, just going to continue with this road. So this road is going to. This is road that just goes all the way through. Oh, might as well upgrade the entire road. Click right. I've clicked right. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'll figure that out. We've done this up to this point. So that is progress. It's definitely progress. And then we have an outbound road there, which is also not a main road. There we are. In fact, that has upgraded this road to a main road all the way. Good. So now we have a way either side. We have a flyover and a underpass for this. That can still be a side road. I need a main road to get to this lot. So maybe I'll do this. I'll do that. Let's move Lavender Park closer to the railway. Maybe we should do that. Yes, let's do that. Let's have Lavender Park. And this is a lovely railway viewing spot too. And there'll be an area where there are no ball games allowed, which will be naturally this area. Right, think, brain. If I'm going to be potentially expanding this, I need to make sure I've got the room for that. Do that. There we are. Now we have space. Why has it done that? There we are. Better. Okay. That is a smaller lavender park, but lavender park none. Actually, no, wait. It will not be a smaller lavender park because I'm going to do this. Well, it will be sort of, but I'm going to do this. I'll give this the opportunity to be a much bigger park. Or a somewhat bigger park. There we are. That is the new lavender park. That's so wobbly. That is the new lavender park. Yes, it is not the biggest park ever, but it will do. It will do. So that makes this section here a main road. I don't know why it could not upgrade that, but makes that all a main road. Or, alternatively, okay, even better idea. So now I have to get rid of all the stuff that I just put down, which is annoying. This is what I'm going to do. Take this like so. Now that gives me far more. What on earth? That gives me far more room to play with, to have this slope down at a much better. There we are, much better slope. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and do this. Get rid of that section. That is Lavender Park. Yeah, that I think will work much better for me in the long run. Although I'm not keen on this bit here. I really do not want it to just be make this a nicer curve. Not really. That will be a nicer curve. There we are. That's a little better. In fact, I'm going to do the same for this. Like so. Like so. That should give me a nice curve, right? Yeah, that is much better. Okay, so that is now the main road that goes up there. We could sort something out with a main road that goes out this way. We've got the main road that goes out this way. Gives us 2 ways across the town. Is that enough is the question. Or do we need a third? We probably do need a third, but how and where am I going to put it? Level crossing further up? I do not see that as too much of a concern. Okay, so I'll probably end up putting a level crossing somewhere further down the road. Oops. And we'll work out what I'm going to do with. I'll work out what to do with. What to do with the underpass a little later. Do that. do that. This bit can be... No. This bit, no. There we are. No, no, no. Okay. Be like that. There. Oh, I could do that. Little unusual, but... There we are. That could sort of work, just off a side street into an estate area. Definitely work. That can go directly across like that. Even have a road that does this for that section. This bit, I will probably do that and then curl it along the original border that was there. That means that can join up there. We'll leave that, maybe do one road like that. Nope, just the one road. That is looking a lot better. Bring this right up. No, not right the way up, but up to there. And the good thing is I can turn this whole thing into a bridge from there to there very easily should I need to, because if I need to expand these tracks. So that would not be too much of an issue. Right, yes, I need to do this. Get back to what I was doing with all of this stuff. Autosave telling me that it is almost time to end this video, although I think this video has only been about 40 minutes, so I'll have to see. Come on, hurry up. Got all day. Oh, off camera I've also gone ahead and changed some of the more of the locomotives to black, as they would have been in this era. So still not all of them, but a fair amount of them are now painted black. Wartime black, and obviously 1945. The war is not technically over yet, but still, say there's no more battling in Britain. Things are being built. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of what I've done here. The only reason I have the only reason I have a date on this for a month and a day is so that every now and then it synchronizes with. It will actually synchronize with the actual day, month that I am recording in. So this video should be coming out, in theory, on the 1st of July. If it does not, then something has gone wrong with the rendering, or I've miscalculated, which is also very possible. Me and miscalculations, it's not an entirely uncommon thing. I am capable of miscalculation. Now this corner is going to be... I might just add a whole bunch of trees. Just in this corner I just add a whole heap of trees. And what I'm now going to do as well is I'm going to do some paint removal along here. We'll sort out what I do with it later on, but that will remove the flowers there. I'll remove the flowers in this area too. Remove the flowers. We'll leave the flowers that are currently out there. We'll just remove the flowers down in this area. There we go. And this block here. Just work through it block by block. And as for the park itself, the way I'm going to do this is going to be, there's going to be a patch, lavender. So we'll not out there, we'll just do, there it is. That is the lavender patch. And I might do some detailing around that, but that there is the lavender patch. And I suppose I could just put some oak trees in this area. There we are. Good. Some oak trees to just sit. Could do some pathways. Whatever we want to do there, I could probably make something up. It would be interesting though, as you go past this to, of course, see the lavender patch in all its glory. Right. So that has given me a lot more space within Kingsbridge. That much is for certain. I could build all the way out here, but I'm choosing not to. I'll start with that, see where that's built up, see where that goes, and yeah, I think that is not too shabby. And for the thumbnail, try and come up with something. Actually, that is not too bad as a thumbnail. That is not too bad at all. Oh, I know what I can do. There is some detailing that I want to put into this. There is a bridge detail that I can add. That is going to be... Oh, where is it? Where is the logo for it? It's not that one, that's a hinge. I've not added any of those as well. I've put a few stones in a few places, and they were supposed to be they were for other things. Oh, that's no good. They were supposed to be markers for something else. Ooh, British steel. There it is. That is the one I want. Now, how do I put this? How do I put this on here? So I need it to be... I know that this is for cars. Sorry, for trains. So it's supposed to be basically you put this on a railway. But I'm trying to come up with something here. And which way does it go? I think it goes this way. So I could put that in there and tuck it in very carefully along this, I think. As long as I'm careful, this will look right. It does not look wrong. Although now I'm thinking maybe it should be the other way. Okay, maybe I've got the direction of this wrong. There is a high chance I've got the direction wrong, so I'll try and figure that out. No, I have to have it that way. The reason I have to have it that way is because of how it shows up on here. Yeah, this is nothing to do with the actual direction. somewhere around there, I think. How does that look? It is not the best because this one is askew. So try that again. It needs to be that way. Okay. Try again. And we want it about there. That's still askew. I think we're all right. Okay, I think that is better. Right. Let me... Oh, that looks so much better. Apart from the brick... hang on. There's a bit of brickwork sticking out on either side. Now on this side, that looks okay. On this side, it does not. Just why? Minor offset meters. Okay, I'm going to have this so that it sticks out exactly the same on this side as it did. Yeah, let's do that. And that will be an easier option to try and make it work. Trying to get this angle correct as well. There. 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 No. There. Okay. Let's hope that is a good enough angle. Yes, I think that will do. Okay. For the bridge, that is... And I know that this was not even the main part of this, but that will be the thumbnail at least. In fact, could I have a train? Could I ideally have a train going through this? That would make a much better thumb. Hello. Perfect. Pleasure to have you aboard. Let's get this train getting a lot closer, and then I'll line this up. So that's where you get to see part of what I've done in the thumbnail. And this also explains why I do a lot of this with the time lapse. Well, things are starting to grow, which is good. Much, much better. Right, let me line this up. This is a high bridge. This is a very high bridge. I could potentially make the bridge much, much lower. Pause. There's potential for this to be on this side as well, because I'm just looking at the buildings in the distance, how that makes that look. That actually looks really good. Yeah. You see the gasometer, part of the station, some of the buildings on the side. That is a good spot for viewing if it was not on a railway line. Okay, cool. So that can continue. Anything else that I want to do? Well, I'm going to leave this open for now because I want to see what happens. This bit as well, I'll leave that open. Maybe, well, this bit is all done. I never did get around to doing this. This was another section that I was going to do. Never did get around to doing it. That's supposed to go all the way out to there, which would make, I suppose that would make this more of a useful road. in a sense. Similarly with this one, this would go all the way out here, and then I would actually have to do this river, which I've not done, see, because this one is not actually being used, whereas all of these ones, there are railways and stuff. Ooh, there's a train going through. Where are you? Hello? Which side are you about to pop out from? There you are. How fast are you going? 71 miles per hour. Oh look, it's one of the ones that are painted black now. There it goes. It is so strange that this machine is sort of running this a lot more smoothly. It could be because the timetable... I think the timetable mod is off, that is why. Yeah, I currently have the timetable mod off, so I need to put that back in. Why do I have the timetable mod off? Was I not supposed to? I have to figure that out. I have no idea why this is currently off. I may have used the wrong... Now, this is going to be a big thing, because I might have used the wrong save to get this all going, which is going to cause problems. But anyway, for now, that is where I'm going to end this video. And what I'm going to do off camera is... Oh, was Stratford another one that I'd built? There, you can see it. That part is building up. That part is building up. Is Sudbury doing anything? It is. It is taking its time, but it is now building up. And this is stupid. So that I'm going to... You know what? No, I'm fixing this right now, because this is going to be... This here is complete stupidity. So I will repair any issues with this section by putting those boundaries in. So nothing should be built along here. Along there, nor should anything be built along here. Okay, that should do the trick. Now I can paint this all in. That's not right. That. Paint it all in with ballast. And this is all an area that should not be touched. There, good. Okay, that's another bit done. So yes, that is building up. Shepshed, I'm going to have to do something with at some point. I wonder how Maryport's doing. Yeah, building up. Maybe I could do a little bit more here or here. That would do well. Batley definitely needs work. That could be next episode, I think, because there are two stops here, but the amount of trains that go through this, as you can see, there are a lot of trains that go through here, and there are only 2 stops that I could do with trying to make this 6-track somehow. I'm just not entirely certain how I'm going to pull this off. That is the only issue. Downham Market, Croydon is finally building up in these areas, so that is good. Probably want to make some additional areas here and connect that up. That would probably work well. Downham Market is just constantly building up. I need to maybe fix that. You just look at that. So I built this area in the last video as well, and this is filling up as well as this section, which is all filling up too. So just these bits down here, I think within another hour or so of gameplay, that will be filled. Makes Downham Market bigger than Berwick upon Tweed, which is concerning. So I will work on that, probably off camera. But the other one that I need to do off camera is... I might try and do this on camera, depending on how much time I have. Conforth. So I'm planning to build it out, all of this area, build it out to all of that area, leave that little bit of the forest, but build out the tracks, build out buildings up here, see what happens, out here, see what happens. So yes, three areas, that bit. In fact, I'll do that bit there, that bit up to there, so that's really one section, and then this bit's here, and see how that goes. So if I get a chance, I'll do that before the next video. If not, it will probably be in the next video or the video afterwards. Early, as I said, this is starting to build up, and really, I do think that this works. I do genuinely think that this works. That train is just waiting for... Oh look, there you go. That one is painted black, whereas this one is still red. So just those little changes. So one that is red and gold, and one that is black. Oh, okay, this is a... I look at this and I just see photo opportunities, and so I take them. But which photo opportunity am I looking at? I guess I want to see the field of wheat in the background. That is where the issue arises. So I want that field of wheat to be visible. But we have a train here. And that does not look good enough. This is the picture I want. Okay, well, whilst I go ahead and faff about with that, I'm going to end this video. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think, any suggestions you might have. Thank you to everybody who has been leaving comments, the modders, the watchers. It's very much appreciated, and those comments actually help drive engagement, so it is really, really important. Annoying, but important. I forgot that all of these were black all the way down. Anyway, if you wish to do so, you can check me out on Patreon, Discord and social media, links in the description box below. But that is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series.